I don't think there's anything more frustrating in life than spending months farming up for a galactic legend only to drop tickets when trying to unlock said galactic legend. So trust in your boy Scribble. Today we are going over the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren event, and we're going to give you a handheld guide on how to beat every tier without dropping a battle. Gosh, we're so good. Let's do this. Alrighty, so Supreme Leader Kylo Ren still remains to this day an incredibly viable character in anyone's roster. Quick sip of Earl Grey tea. Beautiful. So let's look at the prerequisites first and foremost. Level 85, I think you guys can manage that. Kylo Ren Unmasked at Relic 7, First Order Stormtrooper at Relic 5, and Fu, or First Order Officer at Relic 5. OG Kylo at 7, Phasma at 5, Fox at 5, Veteran Han Solo at 3, Sith Trooper at 5, although you probably want to take him further. First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot, also known as the Alphabetti Spaghetti Pilot, Relic 3. General Hux at 5, TIE Pilot at 3, Palpatine at 7, and the finalizer to just 5 stars, not 7 stars. Now, these are the prerequisites, but not necessarily the characters that you're going to be using. The characters that we are going to be using are as follows. Tier 1, it is pretty straightforward, but you can actually fail this. So, trust me, you get this Supreme Leader Kylo Ren event unit, but it is in fact your Kylo Ren Unmasked. It's just got a kit, just like in the Rey event. The first 3 tiers are actually just JTR, who looks like GL Rey. This one looks like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but it's just your crew, okay? So we're going to be taking in Sith Trooper, Hux, we're going to be taking in First Order Officer, and then we are going to be taking in OG Kylo. So let's take a look at the modding. I've got all the Zetas, and this can be done at Relic 7, as you can see, which is just the base requirements. Now we're looking to boost health as much as possible here. Kylo is going to be recovering a bunch of health based on his max health. He recovers based on percentile, so you just want him to be tanky. So I've gone for all health sets with all health primaries, 130k on the health and 244 speed, and that's the only thing you really need to be concerned with when it comes to crew. Next up, we've got our good boy Sith Trooper, and we're focusing on offense. So you can go crit damage set or you can go offense set. I've chosen to go for offense set here. Offense primary on the cross, crit damage primary on the triangle, and we want even more offense once again on the arrow. The reason we want offense over speed is that Sith Trooper over here will assist quite a lot when other people take attacks, so he doesn't necessarily need to be lightning fast. We've got him at 297. It's relatively fast, but that's just because whenever I do these events, I best put my best mods on the characters that I'm using because it maximizes your chances of success. Alright, moving on, we've got General Hux, and Hux over here, we're just caring about speed and pretty much nothing else. 341 speed, and I've got tenacity on him. Not for any good reason, just because the rest of his stats don't particularly matter, so you might as well try and get some tenacity on him to make him that little bit more survivable. Only at Relic 5, so you don't need to worry about taking the relic levels even further, even if it is in your interest if you want to try and get some use out of the rather terrible finalizer fleet. Just my 2 cents on the matter. First Order Officer coming up next then. We are once again just going for speed, and I put a bit of potency on him. He's 343 speed, so he is quick, and I've got lots of potency on him because he can strip turn meter with his pinning shot over here. You can see he can remove 50% turn meter, and if he does, each ally is gaining turn meter, which is very, very useful. And finally, we've got our OG Kylo here. Trash modding. That's all you need. Alright, good. I'm glad we're all on board. So let's get jumping in to the first tier then. Let's hit that play button and have some wonderful, wonderful tea. Let me know your favourite tea in the comment section down below. Alrighty, so we are here up against a pretty standard JTR looking team. This is JTR, it's not GL Rey. We've got the Bag Bros, BB-8 and C-3PO. So what we really want to be doing is we want to be able to get into Kylo to control the field. Our first target should be the Bag Bros, so let's deal with them first and foremost. Get that AoE, clear off that daze just a little bit. Don't worry too much about that. Now I'm going to go all in on Bag Bro Finn because it's in our interest to get rid of him as soon as possible. Then we're just looking to gain some turn meter, baby. Turn meter is where it's at. Alright, I'm going to try and stun Rey. She'll likely just cleanse it. Oh, that is fantastic. We're going to cleanse with Sith Trooper. Pass the turn back over to OG Kylo over here. Let's see if we can get a stun maybe. No, he resisted. Maybe some potency on him might not be a bad shout, truth be told. Alright, so we want to pass back over here so we can just get a little bit of cleansing action, and then we can stun Resistance Hero Poe, take him out. we're not going to go for JTR right now. The reason we're leaving her alone is because if we attack her, she has got quite a high chance of just cleansing everything off herself. Let's see if we can do... No, still, they're a little bit too not tanky, tenacious for our liking. And all in on Bag Bro Poe. Next up, I'm going to call in... oh, well, no, we're not going to call in. We're just going to do a basic over here with with crew. Now I'll do an AoE. Lovely. So we can quite comfortably leave JTR until very end. We've got that heal immunity, and honestly, it's okay. Get rid of all that foresight. I'm going to pass it over to OG crew. And once again, I think... Actually, let's go and stun BB-8 now so we can stop him counter-attacking. See if I can strip some turn meter from Rey. Beautiful. Then let's cleanse any of that. And once again, I'll go for a stun. Oh, we got the stun that time. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go all in on JTR because she's more of a threat than BB-8. And we should be absolutely fine from here on out. No problems at all. No units lost. Very, very straightforward. If you do want to make a change to this, maybe put a bit of potency on your OG Kylo and everything will be fine and dandy. Now, BB-8 does have foresight, but you can't dodge when you're stunned. So, is what it is. There we go. That's tier 1. So it's really more about trying to control the enemy team, particularly controlling Bag Bros first, get them out of there as soon as possible, leave JTR nice and stunned, and then don't hit her because she can cleanse. Alright, tier 2 is more or less more of the same. So we're taking the exact same team in once again because all we care about is trying to get this done with as minimal issues as possible. And there's nothing in this second tier that really changes how we approach things. It's got Zori instead of JTR, but everything else is pretty much the same. So, once we skip through all of this rather nonsense conversation, we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're going to strip turn meter from Finn, just like that. Lovely. That's why it's important to make sure that we get that potency on our Fu. And then it's just all in on Finn. Beautiful. He's gone, and then we're going to stun Poe. Yeah, let's do an AoE to gain some turn meter here. Don't worry about that BB-8. We'll cleanse off the daze and the tenacity down. And let's just, let's bring it over here, I guess. We should really be passing our turn over to OG Kylo all the time so we can gain some additional turn meter. But hey-ho, that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Alright, cool. So, just going to continue to focus on Poe over here. When we get the chance, we're going to... we're going to stun BB-8 to make sure he can't counterattack. When we can, we're going to use the AoE from OG Kylo to give ourselves some turn meter. Just going to blow up Poe over there, and Zori isn't looking too pretty either. Alright, we're looking pretty right now. We have to wait, unfortunately. I'm going to save that 2-turn stun. There's no point putting that on C-3PO. Cleanse off our debuffs. More AoE action going on here. Beautiful. Let's pass this over to OG Kylo again. More AoE action. Beautiful. And sure, let's get that 2-turn stun on BB-8. BB-8's goner. Alright, so we just need to deal with Zori now. As soon as she comes out of stealth, we might be able to kill her with some AoE attacks, but overall, as you can see, it's super, super easy to not lose here, guys. Let's just go ahead. Boop. And finally deal with Zori Bliss. Not a problem at all. I would even go so far as to say that this tier is even easier than tier 1. Moving swiftly on to tier 3 then. Modding doesn't matter. Just like in the JTR one, we have got that dual mechanic that I'm so glad CG got rid of. Essentially, from a cinematic perspective, it looks really sick. From a gameplay perspective, it's dull. The good news is it's very, very easy to just win on this one. You just use the same moves all the time, okay? We're going to go feint, strike, parry, strike, and just repeat that until you win. It takes a little bit of time, unfortunately, but if you followed the order, it should be absolutely fine. So what do? We do feint, then it will be a basic attack, because you have to. Then we use strike. So the first one. There we go. Boop. Lovely. And then we do parry. Can you see these two up here? When we get to 3, we'll be absolutely fine. And then we just do strike. Feint, strike, parry, strike. Just remember that. Just remember that. Then we've got 3, and that gives us the Saber Clash, and that means we use up 1 block of health. So we need to do that 4 times. So what is it? It's feint. Actually, when she's got the question mark, you can just strike. But we're going to ignore that. Okay, so afterwards it's strike. Just like that. Feint, strike, parry. Alright. And then strike. Alright. So it's a little bit different for us this time. We've only got to 2, but it's fine. You just repeat the loop. Okay, actually she's got the question mark, so we can actually just strike here. If she's got the question mark, we can just strike, and that should give us the 3, which will trigger the saber clash, which does the change of scenery, and we get the extra thing. So now we just restart it. Well, she's got the question mark, so we're just going to strike. As soon as we've done the strike, we're going to go back to the standard behavior, okay? So we do feint. Lovely. We do strike. Lovely. And we would do parry strike, but because of the start, we've already finished it. So once again, we do the saber clash. We need to do it one more time. So what are we doing? We're doing feint. Lovely. Basic. Then we do strike. It's very simple. It's boring. It takes too long. But, you know, it is what it is. I would rather guarantee we get the things. Parry. Once we get up to 3 stacks of this offense, we are going to be absolutely golden. Oh, and look, she's got the question mark, and we always know if there's got a question mark, we can just do the strike and we'll win. Easy money back into the crossguard stance, and booyah, we have done tier 3. Wonderful. Absolutely phenomenal. Alright, so those are the first 3 tiers. Once you've repeated those for the necessary times, I think it's like first tier you do 8 times, second tier you do 6 times maybe, and third tier you do 3 times. It's something like, oh, there we go, 3 times rewards there. How many times over here? 4 times. So it's 8, 4, and 3. Once you've done that, you will have unlocked Kylo Ren. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, I mean. The remaining tiers, we're not going to go through all of them. We're just going to do the final one because that's the most difficult one. These are for unlocking the ultimate for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. The strategy that we use for the very last mission can be applied to tiers 4 and 5. Okay, so just replicate them once again. So, for the ultimate tier, this is the approach that we're going to be taking. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, first and foremost, you want him to be high as relic as you possibly can. He doesn't need to be relic 8 like mine is. Relic 7 will be perfectly acceptable. You can probably do it at relic 5, but I really wouldn't want to try it any lower, especially at the last tier. So I've modded mine for full health. We want him tanky. All we care about is survivability. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren will ramp his offense as we steal mastery from the enemy team. So health primaries and health sets. We've got 528 speed and 200,000 health. Next up in our team is Kylo Ren Unmasked. We just want him tanky. He's a little bit fast, but that's okay. So health primaries, health primaries, health primaries. That's all we care about. Next up, we've got Captain Phasma. She's got a bit of speed and she's got health primaries as well. We just want her to be a little bit tanky. It really doesn't matter. She doesn't bring all that much to the team. General Hux, we want him to be fast, 328 speed. It's very, very useful. Next up, we have got First Order Officer. He's 343 speed, super, super quick, very, very useful to have. And that should be it, actually. Yes. Okay, so with that team in mind, let's start breaking down the battle. It is pretty straightforward, but you can let things get away from you if you are not careful. So, first and foremost, in this tier, and in every tier of the ultimate ability, I believe, you get given a event special ability. Similar to when you do galactic challenges and such, sometimes you get an event special ability. This one is rather unique. So once we get Kylo Ren's first turn, we'll be able to see it over here. It's called That's an Order. It's reusable every 3 turns. You swap turn meter with a targeted ally. All damage dealt by that target ally is increased by 50%. They lose taunt if they have it, and they become untargetable. They can't be defeated, and these effects last for 2 turns. So it's actually incredibly useful. What we're going to do is every time we can use it with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, we're going to use it on himself, and then we're just going to poke someone like Resistance Hero Finn, get him stunned. Beautiful. Now I'm going to pass the turn over to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and we're going to use the second special here, targeting whoever is stunned. I like to stun Resistance Hero Finn at the start, because he's the more dangerous person. When we do this against a stunned character, the amount of mastery that we siphon will be doubled, okay? So that's just always what we should try and do. When it comes over to Hux's turn, we're going to turn meter swap and reset the cooldowns on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Once again, use the event special ability, and we're going to stun Poe. Now this is a 2-turn irresistible stun, and then we're just going to see if we can get speed down on the enemy team. Wonderful. I'm now going to basic on Rey, puts that tenacity down on her, not that that's a particularly important part of this ability. Then target one of the stunned enemies and siphon mastery. Going to go all in on Res Hero Finn. He's now in DI, I'm going to see if we can remove turn meter from Rey. It's unlikely, but hey, we got it done that time. That's quite nice. And we're just going to go in on Rey. There's no point trying to poke her. You cannot stun Rey. So we're going to use the event special ability, and then we are going to siphon from Resistance Hero Poe. Now what we want to be able to do is get Poe into damage immunity before Rey takes her next turn. Let's pass the turn meter over to Kylo Ren, resetting the stats once again. Siphon all that mastery. Beautiful. Now, we can actually target and kill Resistance Hero Finn. Not going to use the ultimate because, of course, you wouldn't have access to the ultimate. So, event special ability on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and we're going to poke Finn, and he should die. Lovely jubbly. We're going to eat a whirlwind. Nothing we can do about it, but honestly, don't worry about it. It's not a big issue. I'm going to use the Mass Assist here on Rey, because we'll be able to kill this Resistance Hero Poe now with our swipe. Boom, he's gone, and it's just Rey left. Let's see if we can strip turn meter. Not that time, unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. Basic over here. We're going to use the event special ability on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and I think we're just going to basic, and she dies. And that's as easy as it should be each and every time you do this. Every time you got that event special ability, more or less, with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you want to use it targeting himself. He gets a bonus turn that will help cycle through cooldowns, keep both of the bag bros nice and stunned, and then just swipe to increase your mastery every single time. Alright? Very, very simple, very, very straightforward. If you can control Rey's turn meter with First Order Officer, try to do so with that second special, and you should be absolutely golden. Smashing. Alright, that's going to do it, ladies and gentlebeans, for this Slacker guide. I hope you never lose tickets. Let me know in the comment section down below, did this approach work for you? And congratulations on unlocking your Galactic Legend Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.